Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. Alright, so today we're going to look at how much is too much jump drives with the introduction of the Protect jump drives. Alright, so we've done a few of these jump drive questions before, but we never did it with the Protect jump drive. So we have the new Protect jump drive right over here, and it's a much more efficient jump drive, as the charge efficiency is 90% and the max jump distance is 6,000 kilometers. Versus the original jump drive right over here. With an 80% efficiency with a 2,000 kilometer jump. So 3 times better than the original. And Protect actually has a smaller version as well. So there's a small grid jump drive here, which is also 90% efficient, but it only goes 500 kilometers. Alright, so how much is too much in terms of maximum efficiency for jump drives? Well, it really depends on the weight of the system. So you don't want to go over a certain weight limit, which is going to be, for the original jump drives, 1.25 million kilograms. So you can slap on about 34 jump drives, so you can jump about 6 to 8 kilometers away. So 34 jump drives will include only one battery and a helm. So that's not a ship itself. So if your entire system is on that weight limit, you have maximum efficiency. So if you look at this one here, I just added one more jump drive. You see that it does increase the distance that it can jump, but instead of going 2,000 kilometers, it's going about 1,255.15 kilometers more. So there's a bit of a reduction there, which is not great. So 35 jump drives, so and it's slightly over that weight limit of 1.25. And there's a bit of a formula that reduces the jump distance. So if you're over that limit, that's what happens with the jump drives. What is the formula? I have no idea. And then Protect has the smaller version. So the smaller version, interesting enough, can go only 500 kilometers per jump drive, but max efficiency is going to be 4,000 kilometers. And you don't want to go over the weight limit of 50,000 kilograms. So at the minimum spec, with just a helmet and a battery, or we slapped on 3 batteries just to get the weight up a little bit to see. You get about 8 jump drives here to go that maximum distance. And of course, this is not practical only because these jump drives are primed and ready and it won't be able to recharge. Same with the one we spoke about before. But the new Protect version of jump drives is much better. So each one can go 6,000 kilometers. And that increases the weight limit. So your weight limit cannot go over 2.5 million kilograms in this case. So with the minimal specs of a helmet and battery, we can slap on 45 jump drives to go 270,000 kilometers for one jump, which is crazy. Which is about 4 times more distance than the original jump drive at its max efficiency. And if we slapped on one more with 46 jump drives, it goes over the limit just by a tad, and you'll see that the formula here comes into play again. Instead of going fully 276,000 kilometers, it's going at 27,579. So it only adds 5,279.43 kilometers in this case, which once again, it's not efficient, but you can't go that distance. So then the question is, how much is too much when we're not talking about efficiency? So we have built this monstrosity here. How many jump drives do you think this has? Well, it's got a total of 15,120 jump drives. And as you see here, the max we can go is 275,273.91 kilometers. Because this thing is weighing way too much. And it looks like, in terms of rounding, the max we can go, the more we add, it's going to be roughly 275,000 kilometers. If you want to round up, then probably 6. If you add a ton more, it's not going to go anywhere. Because adding one additional jump drive, Protect jump drive, it only added 0.10 kilometers, if anything. The one limit that we come across is this, where we just go right through it and can't build anymore for some odd reason. So if I try to build anything on this grid right here, it just doesn't allow me to. It just goes right through. So I have ignore PCU on, but it just doesn't want to build there. But eventually certain spots you can. So that's why I built it kind of like that, right over here, just to get it connected. So even if I slapped on this whole thing, if I could slap it on, I don't think it's gonna go any further than 275,000 kilometers. We can definitely try it and see what it looks like. But it might fry my machine, potentially. Alright, so I added a few more farms of jump drives as much as I could until it's gonna kind of phase right through, as you see here. I wonder if I could get into the seats. I could. Okay, so you could phase through it, but you could also get into the helm. Interesting enough. So how many jump drives we have now? Well, 22,275. When it comes to how much is too much jump drives, well, looks like 275,000 kilometers is basically it's close to a cap in a way, but not really. You can still slowly go up, but it'll take a lot to go even further than that. All right, one quick note after reviewing the footage of the jump drive limits and everything like that, there seems to be a variation for some reason. Not sure if you noticed, but if you looked at the 46 jump drive, the one that was slightly over the limit of 2.5 million kilograms, the max was 275, 279. And then the monstrosity build was actually reduced to 273 for some odd reason. Not sure how that happened, but I rebuilt everything once again and made a bigger monstrosity. And as you can see here, there is no real limit to it in some ways. We can climb it up to 275, 719 with 21,709 jump drives. So the more we add, it's going to add slightly a little bit of decimals to kind of climb it slowly up and up and up. But I'm not sure what that limit is. I've been patching this grid right over here, and it's only giving us like 0.01 or even less than that at a given time. And unfortunately, I can't build more because we're going right through it and phasing through it once again. So just wanted to note that on the side. There was a weird reduction. Alright, might as well see what the jump looks like. And I think it's going to be probably somewhere over here since the front of the ship. Not sure if that's really the case, but we're going to hit that jump button. Hit OK. And we'll see it jump momentarily. Yup, right there. Well, it's so far away. There's the jump graphics there. So an idea with this all, well, if you want to get a small grid ship at a really good distance, not using, of course, small grid jump drives, but using the large grid jump drives, the Prototech jump drives, you can attach it similar to this. So a rotor with a small head into a small ship like this here, and you can attach it that way, or you use a connector, same thing, that works as well. And you can connect to a few jump drives. So this here basically is without batteries, so it's more of a one-time use type of deal. But if you wanted to do a quick jump to 270,000 kilometers using a small ship like this, you can. As long as the ship weighs less than 2.5 million kilograms, you can make that distance jump like that. And you can do the same thing with the original one. Of course, that only gives you 2,000 distance instead of 6,000, as you see here. And of course, the weight limit is a maximum of 1.25 kilograms for the original jump drives. So the more efficient one, obviously, is going to be Prototech jump drives with its distance, and it's also the weight limits. So if we want to get this small ship out of the way, 270,000 kilometers, here we go. Right, so that's Prototech technology for you. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to drop a comment down below even to say hi. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.